A woman poisoned both her children's meals. To make sure the kids wouldn't notice anything strange, she stirred the food thoroughly, making sure everything was mixed in completely. When her husband stumbled home drunk later, he saw his wife lying motionless on the couch. He was furious, but when he got closer, he discovered in horror, his wife and children had left this world. The man completely broke down, but now it was too late to change anything. Turns out the man was a gambling addict and alcoholic. Every time he came home, he'd beat his wife, and take all the household money to gamble. Facing this heartless husband, the woman had lost all hope, so she decided to find peace with her children. 30 years later, the man had turned his life around. Through hard work, he became the world's richest person, but the memories were a pain he could never escape. He made the decision to end his guilty life. When the man opened his eyes again, he found himself back 30 years ago, seeing his wife and children alive and well. The man rushed forward to embrace them, but his son told him to get out, saying he wasn't worthy of being their father. Seeing this, the man immediately fell to his knees begging forgiveness. He swore he'd never gamble again, and promised on everything he'd give them a good life. But his wife didn't believe him at all, yet fearing he might get violent again with her and the kids, she gave him all the money she had, telling him to go buy some food. After the man left, a neighbor brought over 2 eggs for the children. Seeing the bruises on the woman's face, the neighbor assumed the man had beaten her again. She urged her to remarry quickly, and had already found someone suitable, a barbershop owner in town. But the woman felt the children needed their father. She planned to give her husband one last chance. The neighbor insisted the man was just a gambler, who definitely took the money to gamble just now. Meanwhile, as soon as the man stepped outside, the neighbors all avoided him, because in his past life he'd been a gambling addict. Everyone refused to associate with him. The man felt devastated. He vowed to give his wife and kids a good life. Looking at the crumpled few dollars in his hand, he couldn't think of how to make money. Just then, he spotted a young guy on a motorcycle at the corner. It was his buddy who'd gotten rich selling household goods in the past life. The man instantly knew how to make money. He ran over to greet his old friend, hoping his buddy would let him join in making money. To his surprise, his buddy was thrilled, because everyone thought he was a slacker. Only the man had approached him about making money together, so his buddy shared his whole plan without holding back. Said he just smuggled in a batch of soap from overseas. He wanted the man to help sell it all. They'd split the profits. The man agreed right away. Soon he set up a small stand on the street. This new type of soap quickly attracted many people. The soap sold out fast. His buddy started seeing this gambler differently, thinking the man had really changed, so he revealed he also had a batch of radios. But this new product was hard to sell. He asked if the man wanted to try. The man suddenly remembered tomorrow's business expo in town, which would be cancelled because of broken radios. Even the official in charge would lose his job. The man confidently promised he'd sell all the radios tomorrow for sure. Meanwhile, 2 unexpected visitors came to the house. The neighbor had brought someone to replace the woman's husband. Though the wife was disappointed in her husband, she still wanted to give him one more chance. The neighbor told her to think of her 2 children. They were still so young. With a gambling father, they'd have no future. Just then, the man returned home. The visiting man got scared and tried to leave quickly, but the neighbor pulled him back, and mocked that the husband was trash. The man didn't get angry hearing this. Instead, he took out some meat from his basket for the neighbor, but the neighbor wasn't grateful, mocking that eating his meat would make you beat your wife. The wife saw this, asked where he got money for these things. The man tried to explain, but the neighbor cut him off, claiming he just got lucky gambling today. The man said nothing more, just asked who the other man was. The neighbor quickly said he was the famous barbershop owner in town. The man told his wife he'd bought lots of food. The neighbor said if he had money, he should buy things for the kids. The man immediately pulled out new white shoes he'd bought for them, and told them to ask for whatever they needed. The next morning, the man took his wife out shopping. When the wife dropped the kids at the neighbor's for babysitting, the neighbor said the man was acting too strange, must have lost big and was planning to sell his wife. Walking down the street with her husband, seeing his unusual behavior, the wife thought he really was going to sell her. She immediately said she was worried about leaving the kids home. The man insisted today was their couple time, don't worry so much, so the woman reluctantly kept walking. Then they ran into his buddy. The wife became more convinced he would sell her. She ran into the nearby barbershop asking for help. The man quickly chased after her. The barbershop owner blocked the man. The man hurried to explain he was selling radios with his buddy. The barbershop owner angrily yelled at him, mocking that he wasn't any good, and called for others around to help. The crowd gathered, cursing at the man, threatening to call the police. Seeing this, the man swore he'd never sell his wife, then turned to apologize and promised to change, saying yesterday's money came from selling soap. The man called his buddy over to vouch for him. Only then did people realize he was the soap seller from yesterday. The barbershop owner said they were in on it together, and that the man knew nothing about business, then warned the wife not to be fooled. The wife said her husband was getting better at lying. The man insisted he wasn't lying, but his wife wouldn't believe him. The man decided right then to prove it by selling radios in front of everyone.